Okay, good evening, everyone. We survived another weekend, didn't we? Yeah. This week I came prepared. I have the phone pre-set up just in case the live chat gets a little buggy over here, but so far it worked. For the members only live stream, the live chat worked the whole time. So let's hope that keeps up. What the crap? No, you're not. Shut up. Okay, apparently when you start the live stream, the little thingy closes your chat down because you're not as prepared as you thought it was. Because why would that possibly be a thing? Okay, now it's set up. I don't normally do YouTube on my phone, so that's an all new thing for me. Just letting you all know that. Let's see. Wildfire, the random or they're random. At this point in time, they are random due to how busy my schedule is and everything. I was trying to get them scheduled, but we had an issue with the fact that practically no one could make it when I was free, and it was easier to just randomly pop up so that if you're free, you can join in. I usually try to give a few hours notice if I can. But they're also, the links are put in the members only area here on YouTube. They're put in the Patreon area for patrons, tier 2 and tier 3. And in the gilded area, the links are put there as well. So you can actually watch the replay as well if you so choose to watch what we're rambling about. Those are more just my random thoughts, but we do touch on topics if the members have them. Occasionally I'm looking at actually talking on some deeper topics planned, but we'll have to see how that goes. Speaking of which, while we're on that topic, we do actually have a members thing now for the YouTube. We've actually grown big enough. We got that, so you can actually sign up to get members only perks. We got 3 different tiers. It's just a nice little way to support the channel and get some extra perks in return. If you enjoy the channel and if you want to support the channel, it's always a bit. Well, I'm sorry, Violet Star. Violet, that says $100. I don't know if that's in a non-U.S. currency or U.S. currency, but either freaking way, mugs up and thank you very much for your support. I've been drinking coffee all day and I don't think I was ready for that. So thank you. Thank you very much. That is amazing. Yeah, that will totally work. That does work. I appreciate it. I'm flattered. I am. Thank you. Okay, yeah, thank you, Violet Star. Everybody, totally thumbs up for Violet Star there. But we do have a members section here. I will say this: the members section on YouTube, like the special icons, the emojis, all that. They only work through YouTube, not Patreon, because Patreon is not wanting to. I've been told by other YouTubers you can integrate the two, and I even had one friend come over and look. We can't figure out. They're just not wanting to work with me, so that's fine. So there is that. The YouTube does give a bit more streamlining to it. If you wanted to, I know some people just aren't big on that and they prefer to go through Patreon. So. That's mainly the main reason we still have the Patreon, because it has been real buggy the last several months. But it's not been buggy, at least with your all's money and all that. So that's at least good on that much. So, but those are 2 options. If you choose to support the channel, no pressure. We just we do appreciate you all and everything you do. And another great way to support the channel. Give us a thumbs up, hit that like button. It actually really does help with the algorithm and helps us get the word out to more seekers who are actually attempting to find this information. So if you're here and you've not hit the like button, please do. And we do actually have a merch store. There's usually a link below every video where you can buy coffee cups, t-shirts, just little goofy things, again, to help support the channel. We actually do have like these circles behind me. You can use them for ritual circles or just wall hangings. We got those as well over there. Just so you know. All right. I'm still kind of, I almost fell on my chair there, Violet Star. That was amazing. Thank you very much. I'll probably be bragging about that all week. I'll just randomly be sitting there and be like, can you believe they actually. Let's see what we got here. Go back a little bit since I can actually utilize the stream tonight. Hey, Drake, I'm doing great. I've actually had a fantastic week. I finally got my schedule where I'm able to actually get things done again. So pretty cool there. Dragon of the West, happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, Dragon of the West. Happy Easter indeed. Hello, Lilith. 100, you get a hat strap, right? It's almost tempting, ain't it? Oh. Hey, Hermetic, good to see you. Bernoldus. Hey, man, hope you're feeling better. I know you're a little under the weather. Hopefully the soup, the pho, helped you. That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Hey, Violet. What's new with you? What's new with me? Actually, we have been making up lost ground from when things got a little bit of chaotic there. But we've been working on the evocation class quite a bit. The new Gilded server, since Discord shut us down, has been going well. Been working on a lot of research. I've put a little more focus into strength training than just general weight loss, so my goals have shifted a little bit there. I know many of you who follow the 6-month challenge know I was mainly focused on weight loss at first, but I decided to add in some strength training. So it's been a pro and con. It's caused me to slow down on weight loss, but honestly, my waist is slimming up quicker, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, energy's up, doing pretty good, honestly, by and large here. Hermetic, at this current point in time, the dragons actually have me withholding the Maelstrom Dragon's name until further notice. That's one of the reasons, like the ruler videos stopped with the first 4 rulers. The rulers were kind of, yeah, they had me stop them, which sucks because I was having so much fun doing those videos. But I promised the dragons when I shared this information I would follow their lead. So that's kind of what we're doing there. When a man makes a promise, a man keeps his promise. Or at least that's the way I was brought up. And thus I plan to keep that promise. And honestly, the Maelstrom dragons aren't really dragons you want to work with unless you've really done your work with the other dragons. The amount of entities you've worked with doesn't matter. It's specifically with dragons. Let's see. Yeah, that one big container of has lasted me most of the day so far. I'm only halfway through it. Yeah, pho, man, a big order of pho. It's a big order. Though I'll be honest with you, I love it. I could probably kill one if I was hungry enough. These days, I only eat like once a day. I stay so busy. So that meal's usually a big meal. So I could probably tackle me a single pho. But I can understand that, Lauren. Those are definitely some big ones. They do taste amazing. They are amazing. Loveless, good to see you as well. Let's see. Tinker Train. Who's a good deity or whatnot to talk to about making a big decision, such as where to go upon moving out? Falcon, thank you very much. I will get right to that as soon as I finish this one. Such as where to go upon moving out, in my case, away from my parents. Okay, Tinker Train, first off, when it comes to family matters, for legal reasons, I really can't go too deep into that. But when it comes to an entity about making decisions, you should find an entity you trust, an entity that you get along with, an entity that you know that their opinion and their guidance is something that you're going to go good with as well. There is no one singular entity that actually just fits that bill that you've asked. Like for me, I would easily enjoy going to Odin or Freya, but their values, their goals, and stuff like that drastically align with me. Whereas my buddy in high school, they wouldn't align with him at all. So even though they would give him good advice, the advice would not be in his liking. So you have to take the entity's personality and yours into consideration on that one. If they want you to remove them forward, then maybe it means maybe larger following. If they want, maybe. I am getting. Yeah, I mean, maybe the following's getting large, and they've got a reason for it. I know they got a reason for it, and I'm just respecting them on that one. All right, now Falcon, sigils versus runes. What would be best to inscribe in/on a box to prevent people from noticing it? Parents despise my craft, hardcore Christians, so I need to store my supplies while preventing it from being noticed. Okay. Well, we don't need the Christian part because honestly, I know plenty of Christians who are occultists, so it doesn't require that. And we don't bash on religions here. But I would actually go with the one you work best with. Some people do prefer just sigil magic in general, where you can craft any sigil. Some people prefer rune magic. I actually prefer rune magic. In fact, when I'm doing my sigils, I do sigils in a bind rune style manner, so I'm still using runes. And I just find those to work a lot better for me personally. It's not to say I don't get a good punch when I do sigil magic. I actually do love sigil magic. It's just over the last few years, the more and more I've worked with the Norse, it tends just to be where I gravitate to naturally. Much like how people's noticed I always set my coffee on a particular side, even though people see me use this hand, which confuses them. They're like, are you left-handed or right-handed? Answer's both, but I have a preference. So your preference would actually matter because it's going to be the one that you're most comfortable with, the one that is the easiest for you to utilize, those kinds of things. Now, one side note to that, I know a lot of people who are Tolkien fans. So if you by chance have a parent who's also a Tolkien fan, you could use runes because the dwarven runes from Tolkien's alphabet were pulled from Norse. Sorry, mind blank. And it would actually look Tolkien-esque. It wouldn't look suspicious in that case. But if they don't like Tolkien, they wouldn't go that direction. Whereas sigils, you could actually use to make it abstract art. You could easily hide it into like a vine style sigil. So it really, I'd go for the one that you could easily make a sigil or something to help protect it, to keep it low key. Of course, there's also something to be said about respecting the house where you live. So that should also be noted. Me personally, I always did try to respect anyone's house when I was staying with them. I have indeed been working with the two of them. They're very active in helping me finish out the different Dragon Magic classes and the timing. They're also in the conversations of when I can do the other videos and if I can do the videos. So yes, the Dragon and the Dragoness are indeed entities that I have been working with weekly. I've actually quite enjoyed it. The ritual for that is still, it's a hard ritual, period. And there have been weeks where honestly I've just been too drained, sapped, exhausted mentally, physically, that I really couldn't pull it off. I couldn't. I was tapped down at my limits, which is why I'm so happy to get the things a bit more balanced out now. Which even the admin for the guild would know that I was burning the candle at 100 ends. Forget both ends. It was 100 ends. It was bad for a while there. But yeah. Do I plan to do a video about Lilith? Yes. I've actually been in talks of doing evocations and talking with her on how we want to set that up and everything. But but it is one of those things where between me and her getting the video outlined the way we want it, so that she's happy with it, because that's a big thing. I won't do a video until the outline they're happy with it. So that's kind of what's taking the longest part. And there's a lot of things right now that I'm not going to get into particularly as to why, but there's things right now she doesn't want me doing the video because she's afraid it could go poorly in the long run. Let's see what we got. Whoop, okay, we jumped. There are dragons that do focus in on love and stuff like that as well. I don't know if I'm allowed to share the one I'm thinking about. I don't know if I'm allowed to share. I do know it's in the Dragon Magic 102 course. It's one of the specialty dragons. But I would have to ask on that one, Hermetic. Because there's a few dragons that have gotten permission to share their information openly, like Expoon and Torgra, which so many people absolutely adore both of them, and their videos are here on the channel. I would actually, Torgra can help with love. Torgra can. He deals with emotions and stuff, so that would actually be one you could reach out to. Let's see. Will Faye reach out to you if you have no interest in working with them? Yeah, any entity can. Your interest does not interest them. They will totally try, if they have an interest in you for some reason, they may try to say hi. They may check out your house. They may find something in your house quite interesting. I mean, the Fae are everywhere. This concept of the Fae only live in the deep darks of the woods and something is horseshit, to be honest. There's not an area on the earth where you can't find Fae. So you're going to interact with them just like any other spirit, and they could take an interest in you. And our particular interest doesn't interest them. So if they're interested in us, that's more than enough. So there's that. Doesn't mean you have to work with them, though. They may show interest in you. They may reach out to you. Doesn't mean you have to work with them. Let's see here. All sorts of fantasy things. You can use a lot of fantasy things and just pop culture things to really keep your magic very, very low key. Actually, when I travel, I don't even take anything with me. I just do my work in my astral sanctum. That way, there's nothing to find. That's really the easiest way to do it. Do I prefer using runes or tarot cards? Honestly, more often than not, I reach for runes, though my preferred divination is scrying. That's my preferred divination. I do enjoy using tarot cards, but I'm so picky about my tarot decks, and there's just so many different things that, yeah, I tend to just prefer the runes. I tend to get better results with them if I'm using something like runes or tarot. But my preferred go-to divination that I will reach for 90% of the time is going to be scrying. Good question, though. We do have a tarot class on the online school, which you can find workingdragonmystic.com. There'll be a courses tab at the top, or you can find the school link below videos usually. But we do have a tarot card class as well. We do have a free rune class playlist. It didn't let me go into as much detail as I was hoping by doing a public one on this, though I'm wanting to deep dive a little more into the runes when we do the Norse magic course. And I have considered doing just a rune reading class or a rune magic class. I just don't know if that would be I'm going to wait until the Norse course is done to see if it would be practical. Because I feel like if I do that, since the Norse magic course should cover it, I feel like that's double dipping in a subject, and that just sounds, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable doing that. It feels cheaty to me. It feels like double selling something. Does that make sense? And we jump. So, hey, Saeed, good to see you, man. It has been a while. Well, when it comes to a dragon's color, their color really don't mean anything there, Hermetic. A dragon can change its color at will and be any color. So their color, yeah. You'll find pink dragons within every category. Maria, what is my type of divination is my least favorite? Oh, you're going to get me in trouble right here. Okay. I despise, and I mean despise, any divination that relies on the ideomotor response. Now, what's the ideomotor response? The ideomotor response is small muscle twitches that cause you to move an object, aka Ouija boards and pendulums, because you cannot remove the human element. Therefore, you cannot trust the data at all. You can't. And because of that, I do not like them. It is far too easy to contaminate the results, to control both of the mediums, and to get the result you want, which is at that point, if you're just going to pick it anyways, just pick it. So I'm not a real fan of those at all. Same thing with dowsing rods. I know my grandfather probably turned in his grave, but yeah, I don't like any of those that rely on ideomotor responses. And I know a lot of people's like, well, I get great results. You may get great results for your practice, but you can't remove the human element. And everyone who's told me beyond a shadow of a doubt, they know they can remove the human element. I've offered $3,000 to test that, and everyone's failed. Everyone has failed. So those are the ones I don't like, and it's because me personally, I can't trust the data. The human contaminated element is there. Let's see. Is the aversion to giving the rulers names the reason why actually, yeah, they had me pull that soul, and I actually have to redo that video now. They decided to pop in on me during another working and be like, we need to talk, and that ended up doing that. I actually forgot to pull it the day they told me to. They got upset, and then they reminded me. So I had to. So next time around, they reminded me. I just got up and went and done it, because it's like, you know what? I'm not forgetting again. Which, to be fair, when I sat down to make that video, I did discuss it with them, and they said that they would be monitoring the video and that they would be weighing whether or not it should stay up or not, and that they would let me know. So I posted that video knowing that they may at some point request it. I'll be honest, I kind of thought it's been up so long, I didn't figure I'd hear hiding or hair about it. I was really surprised when I did. Which, now that someone mentioned, maybe the channel's growing to the point where they do feel it's more of an issue than it was at the beginning. That's actually an interesting thought. There may be people who are seeing that and doing things that are causing issues with themselves, that aren't following with what the rulers wanted. I can only speculate, because I'll be honest, that night I was so tired and everything, I literally popped up out of bed and went and done it because they told me to. That, yeah, I didn't think to ask questions. The Fae can tap on things. I mean, it's not like a surefire thing. Almost any entity can tap on things. So that's you kind of got to get a little, So one idea I've been stewing over is inattention spells or a misdirection enchantment to force viewers to just overlook something. I mean, people do it. I mean, I know magicians and the cultists who have their channels, videos, and whatnot protected against such nonsense. But yeah, you could attempt it. Let's see. I did blocking candles to keep myself to layer safety. Let's see. What is my opinion on Ouija? Well, I kind of answered it up there with the divination one, but I don't trust them. I don't like them. I don't think they're dangerous because I've never actually seen a case where the Ouija board was genuinely operated by spirits. I have genuinely seen a lot of scare tactics be used. I mean, it's a game. It was developed as a game. It was not developed as a actual spiritual tool. It was developed as a game, and it was developed with the ideomotor response in mind. Doesn't take much of history to dig that up. But yeah, as a tool, it's actually the number one tool I've debunked. Now, for all the individuals, because I know people who actually make a living doing divinations using Ouija boards, and they tried to get that 3K I mentioned. They didn't get it. Now, part of the agreement was I wouldn't out them in their particular name as long as they weren't hurting anyone. I can't give names because that is their livelihood. And that's just a dick move. Let's be honest. That's a dick move. And honestly, if you're going to anyone outside yourself for divinations, you should do so for entertainment purposes. You should never make life decisions based on divinations that you don't do yourself. I'm a big believer in that because there are too many scam artists out there. So with that in mind, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ouija boards for that. As far as do I think they're dangerous or are they possessed? No. They're a toy. They're perfectly safe for a 3 or 4 year old. Just like the box says. Hey, I'd really like to know if it's okay initiating on Magick using Dragon Magic. I'm not sure I understand the question. If it's okay initiating on Magick use. If you're asking if can you get started doing magic in Dragon Magic, yeah. The Dragon Magic 101 course that we have over at the school is designed for beginners. We also have playlists here on Dragon Magic that can get one started. Anyone can do magic. There are some roads that are easier than others. Dragon Magic, it's not the easiest road, but it's also not a hard road. It's not like Draconian Magic or anything like that. Actually, I find Dragon Magic to be one of the better ones to get started on. And we jumped. Oh, we jumped and got a super chat. L, just L. Thank you very much for the super chat. Dragons have been contacting me for about 2 years. How do I know what they want from me? Also, why don't they speak more clearly, like through a dream? Dragons actually despise speaking through dreams because dreams are not reliable. Everything within the dream realm is distorted and then must be interpreted. Dreams are not literal. Dragons actually don't like that. So they actually do not talk through dreams whenever possible. In fact, if you wish to work with dragons, you need to develop your arcane senses. They want direct contact. They don't like to talk through tools. They don't like to talk through pendulums, Ouija boards, or anything. They want direct, open conversation with us. So if you're wanting to work with dragons and you're wanting to hear them, you need to work on your arcane senses. Particularly your hearing and your sight's helpful, but your hearing is actually the big one. Which we do have a video here on the arcane senses that talks about different exercises to do it. And we have a free course on arcane sight over at the school. And the exercises on arcane sight can easily be translated over to hearing just as easily. So yeah, and I actually think we did a video on arcane hearing too. It seems like we did. Or was it touch? Anyway, but we do have another video coming out on the astral sanctum, because I've been getting a lot of questions on astral sanctums, talking about how you can utilize that specifically to develop your arcane senses. So that's going to be coming out within the next month or so as well. But we already have a video on the senses. We have a video on the astral sanctum. All those things can easily help. So I hope that helps you out a little bit there, El. But yeah, they will sit there and they will wait until you develop. They're not going to rush. If you're not willing to do the work to develop your abilities, they're not going to do anything. Dragons are about your personal accountability, your personal responsibility. And if you're not willing to do the work, well, they're just going to sit back. Yeah, actually, the Draconic rulers asked the video to be removed. So yeah. Have I done any Enoki Magic? What's my view on it? Yeah, I've tinkered in Enoki some in the past. I'm actually looking at diving deeper into it in the near future. I actually been gathering some notes and stuff on it to dive deeper into it. Though when I worked with it, I found it, I mean, it was a functional system. I enjoyed it to some extent. Some of the incantations and whatnot were a little overly poetic and complex, which many of you know I'm not a fan of. But as a functional system, I mean, it works. And the entities within it, I got along with just fine, had a pretty good relationship. Something else drew me from it research wise. And it might have been Dragon Magic or Norse Magic that just consumed so much of my research. I just kind of drifted away from it for a while until recently it's caught my attention again. And I've considered going back and taking a second look at it. But yeah, I mean, like many traditions out there, Enochians is a solid tradition if you wanted to do it. Some people enjoy it, some people do not. I really don't enjoy anything that requires like full-blown, massive, poetic 2-page incantations. That's just not my shtick. I don't like it. And I also don't like anything that treats entities disrespectfully, tries to bind them or forces them. Because first off, you're not going to be able to. You can fool yourself, but you're not fooling them. That's one of the reasons I don't deal with like Solomonic magic in the actual tradition of the Solomonic tradition. There's a lot of magicians who have great success with it, and that's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. Maria, I've had plenty of things scare the bejesus out of me, but I was taught very young that fear shouldn't stop you. Yeah, if something is scary, if something's going on, when everyone else was running that way, I'm the idiot going that way. I don't let fear stop me. In fact, my motto is if something's scaring me, that's probably what I should pay attention to. And I do. Thanks, Drake, for the info. No problem. Whoa, we jumped again. Why did we jump again? Let's see. All right, we jumped. Nanix, thank you for the super chat, mate. Appreciate it. Oh, ran out of coffee. I need more coffee. Zephyrsil and Cor Allegra would both be really good with helping with your arcane senses. If you go into the Arcane Sight class, Hermetic, if you haven't gone in there, it's a free class. There are exercises and spells literally in that to help with that. Let's see. Wildfire, when you work in your sanctum, do you take that opportunity to be a little more dramatic in your magic? I like making a huge bonfire and me and my guardian on both sides and with my arms raised. I mean, see, that to me is not dramatic. That's normal. I grew up in the South. We have bonfires all the time. So doing ritual around a bonfire is pretty normal. The beauty of being a country boy. And if we ain't got wood, we'll burn the old sofa in the yard. Don't worry, we'll find something to burn. But I do enjoy being able to see the energy currents move a bit more tangibly when I'm working in my sanctum, if that makes sense. That's more of what I do. So I guess that would be more dramatic because then it almost looks a bit more what you expect some fantasy magics to work with, because when I'm working in my sanctum, I actually do tend to pull them in as a solid or a stream and actually see myself weaving them almost more tangibly when I'm in my sanctum. I mean, I do still visualize the same currents and everything when I'm working here in the physical, but it's my art. I mean, both my physical eyes and my arcane sight's working, so there's a slight differential there, but I would say it looks a little cooler in my sanctum. Let's see. May I ask if you know any gem offerings that Lilith likes by any chance? Honestly, Lilith really likes just about any gem. She's, if you give Lilith a gift graciously with respect and love, she will absolutely adore it. That said, I do know she likes clear gems, so you can, or even crystals, so you could go with quartz. She likes red ones. I know that for a fact. She loves the deep reds. So those would be options you could go with. She's also shown a penchant for like smoky gray gems or black ones. I know I gave her a piece of smoky quartz once that I found, and and she just lit up. She just lit up over that smoky quartz. It was sweet. Boogie, do I ever? I have never gotten a headache from drinking coffee, and I drink coffee by the gallon. So I probably go through near 4 gallons of coffee a day pretty easily, if not more. I don't get a headache, and ironically, I don't get a headache if I don't have it. Granted, it takes me longer to get running in the morning, but I don't really have a headache if I don't drink it. So, no, weirdly enough, I don't. Caffeine, I've actually had at least a few doctors try to get me to stop drinking. So they've done a few tests and everything to show the effects of caffeine, and they really found out caffeine doesn't seem to affect me. So I don't know. Any news on the Draconic Pentagram ritual? Yes, we are working on that one. Yes, we are. I'm trying to get, right now it's the logistics of filming it. That's kind of the big one, Hermetic. I'm hoping. So my plan is, because right now, if any of you has watched the video recently, you know every time I turn my camera on, somebody's running a weed eater, a lawnmower, my neighbors are screaming, and you can hear them through the office wall, or they're screaming out here. It's just, I can't turn the camera on without something. So my attempted plan for this video, because I'm wanting to not only discuss it, but I'm wanting to film a demo of it. And I may have to drop the demo, but I'm not wanting to, is to actually get everything ready, get everything set up, and shoot this thing at like 3 in the frickin' morning when everybody's passed out unconscious, whether they party or whether they work, they're unconscious. That's my go-to plan right now. With summer coming, that it might work. It might work. I've almost got all the details worked out on how I'm going to shoot it and everything. It's just a matter of actually setting it up logistically. I may even have to get my wife to operate the camera on this one. Let's see. And, crap, I jumped again. Let's see. Clear gems. That is a lot of coffee. I admit it is. But I enjoy coffee. That is, everyone, I guess, has a vice of some kind. I'm not a big sweets person. I don't drink, I'm not a big alcohol guy. Like, I know people who go out and get smashed every other night or on weekends. They literally like buy 4 cases of beer or several bottles, and that's just for the weekend. I personally find that ludicrous. I would never want to drink that much alcohol. The concept of not, I don't even like the sensation of being buzzed or tipsy. I don't like it. But to each their own. As long as you go home and do it safely. If you're out on the roads, then I'll punch you before I let you get in the car. Let's just say that. So that's kind of my one vice, really. And there is a chance that I'm probably drinking a little more these days just because I am. It's one of the few flavored beverages I can have while I'm trying to get back in shape. So that may do it. And the only reason I know how much I drink is because I know how much fits in here and I know how many of these I make. Though that said, someone has recently challenged me to drink more water. And it's not because they're worried about me. It's because I told them they need to drink water. So the concept is if I drink it, they'll drink it. So that'll probably cut back my coffee a little bit. We'll see. Let's see. I would actually bake a chocolate cake and have red icing. Hey, chocolate cake with red icing. That's a good way to go. Shoots at 3 of them random. You know, Luna, that actually sounds like something that might happen. It really does. So, I mean, it's just crazy. Because there's days it's like everything's so quiet and peaceful, and it's like, I'm going to film, I'm going to make use of this, turn the camera on. Noise. I recently shot a video. I don't know if I edited it out, but they actually was running a weed eater, and it from where they were, I mean, it's practically right outside my window. I couldn't tell if it was a weed eater or a chainsaw. And I know when the camera was on, I commented about it. But it's getting so hard to edit over the noise that it's just like anymore. I'm just honest about it in the videos and more making fun of it because that's life. That's just the reality of it, you know. People want to try and find this perfect ritual time, this perfect time to do think life ain't perfect. Life is messy. But you got to enjoy it. And that's what I try to do. So when I'm doing the videos, because if anything I've ever done on this channel is be authentic. I don't try to BS you all. I don't try to use a lot of camera tricks or anything. I use no camera tricks. My editing skills suck, let's be honest. So, yeah, I actually kind of like the fact that, you know, you guys kind of see some side of the YouTubing headaches that as they are. Because there's a lot of ambient noise where I live that to me it's there. And I don't hear it until I turn that camera on. And actually, when I started filming, I didn't even hear it when I turned the camera on. I heard it in editing. So it's now I'm more aware of sounds when the camera comes on, which is kind of funny in and of itself. Yeah, perfect is a myth. It is a lie. It is a myth. It's horse crap. There is a beauty to the elegance of imperfection. Perfect, it would be boring and just maddening. Um, yeah. So honestly, it's overcoming these obstacles and these little things that pop up. Are they frustrating? Yeah, but also they're kind of fun to work around and find ways around it. I don't particularly use days for anything special myself. I really don't. If I want to work with more than one entity at a time, I just do it. Well, if it helps, the noise never bothers me, to be honest. I barely ever even hear it when you mention it. So it's either I got good speakers or you're better at editing than you think. Oh, thanks, Wildfire. Appreciate that, mate. Yeah, yeah. I agree with that, Levels. The most effective workings are the ones you don't plan. You just kind of sit down, you know what you got to get done, and you just go with the flow. And it's like, yeah, yeah. I have to agree with that. I mean, before we moved where we currently are, it was like 1 a.m. I was trying to do some working or something. I forget what it was. It was before I was on YouTube. But my neighbors were being really, really loud, really, really annoying. And they were being so loud that even over my radio, I could tell you their personal business. That's how loud they were. So I eventually just like, you know what? I know what to do here. I opened the window, yelled down there, and told them, this person should probably break up with this person, tell this person to call this person. And by the way, could you kindly keep it down? I'm trying to summon demons up here. And close the window. You know what? They hushed up real quick. I never had another loud issue with them in the backyard after that. I have expected them to come knock on my door the next day. They never did. Yeah, yeah, I agree, Levels. You can't polish the passion. You got to have that passion. You got to have the feeling. You got to have the mistakes. The mistakes really are what gives something character. Um, yeah, it's. I agree completely with you on that one, Levels. Best response ever. Maria, they actually don't give a rat's rump about either because to them, they're neither. They are neither demons nor daemons to them. Those are words we humans have assigned to them. So they really don't have a preference as long as you're treating them with respect. Well, you guys, I don't know if you guys know this, you probably have, but I really don't have a lot of shame. I'm kind of outspoken. What you all see here on the YouTube, this is Drake edited. This is edited. Some of you in the Gilded server or the old Discord server who's dropped into voice chat when we was all just hanging out, you know what I'm talking about. Uh, so I don't hide who I am. I don't care if someone likes me. I don't care what someone thinks about me. I actually had someone try to guilt me because they were parked in a reserved spot for over 6 hours and they got towed, and they were mad at me because they got towed for parking in the wrong spot. And they tried to guilt me like, I wish I'd have met you at a different time because this is such a bad way to meet. And it's like, I don't know you. I have no plans to know you. So whether you're disappointed or not, why does this affect me in any way? It's like, look, I didn't park there. You parked there. The office towed it. That's your fault. It's just one of those things. I can tell you, if I give anyone advice, and I've gave my daughters this advice, the day you get to the point where you can look at the entire world and say, I don't give a beep, you have hit happiness. Because too many people wander around this world worried about what everyone else says, what everyone else thinks, and they just carry that around like luggage. So picture this with me, if you will. Go down a visualization lane with me here. Let's say everyone's opinion, everyone's little thoughts about you, every word or sentence they say about you weighs 5 pounds. All right. Now you're going to get yourself a couple 5-gallon buckets and you're going to carry around every one of those opinions. You know it won't take you long at all before your arms fall off, because that's a lot. Everyone has a freaking opinion. Somebody somewhere hates you. Probably more than not, because people are just that way. And you wasting your time worrying about them and whether or not they like you is just a waste of time and energy. It really is. I have found, by living the authentic you, whatever that will be, and really not caring what other people say, you're happier overall, and you build a confidence about you that it just draws people to you. It just draws them to you. And I don't know, ever since I've stopped worrying about it, I've been such a happier person. And yeah, I'm loud and proud with who I am. Is it a crazy redneck wizard? Yeah. But I am me. Let's see. Let's go backwards here a little bit. Enjoy your meal, Wildfire. Can I draw fan art for your channel? Yeah, I mean, people do fan art and send it in. We did have contests there for a while, but if you're on the Gilded site, you're more than welcome to send it to me there. You can also email it to me at workingdragonmystic@gmail.com. That is the work email here for the channel, so you can also email it there. Fan art is perfectly acceptable. The only thing I would ask is that you not try to sell it because of copyrights and all that stuff. But yeah, you are more than happy to do that. There's been a few pieces of fan art that was actually so interesting and funny. We've even put them on t-shirts before with permission. I think it was Bornoldus, wasn't it, who did the I came, I saw, I got blowed up. Because that's kind of a phrase that's been associated with me even before I got into magic. But it follows me into magic too with my experiments. And Bornoldus did a piece of fan art of my goofy hind end after I've been blown up with that. So yeah, if you all wish to do fan art, by all means do. In fact, if we get enough of it, I may just share them here on the channel. I will say this: if we do start sharing, try to. There's not a really good way to say that. We have seen fan art that has been sent to us that there is no way, shape, form, or fashion we could ever share it on the YouTube or anywhere for that matter. So if you are hoping to get your fan art shown on the channel, take that into consideration, because some of the fan art we've got has been the artwork in general, the artistic skill. I got to admit, it's talent, but the choice of medium was interesting. But yeah, I love to see the fan art you all do. I can't draw a stick figure, but I do love to see what other people can do artistically. So yeah, by all means, feel free. Let's see. I exalted Seamus. Yep, that was, yeah, it was Bernoldus who done it. And actually, I think that's on a coffee cup or a shirt in the merch store. Let's see. No tentacle fan art. Got it. Yes, Luna. Yes, that goes double for you, Luna. I love you, dear, but oh man. Oh, it's on a shirt too. So yeah, if you want a blown up picture of Meaglin, you can have me on a shirt. Yeah, that actually really happened. There's a few things that happened when we lived there that was actually quite humorous, because I still have it somewhere, but I have like the first time I actually done the Dragon's Eye seal into a ritual circle, I got me a bed sheet and can of spray paint, and I was going to try and do it out like that. And I moved the car in the garage and I sprayed it down and everything. And I let it dry, put down my second coat, let it dry, got it real good. And we're rednecking this thing, but we're getting her done. And then I go to pick the sheet up and I realize it's stuck to the concrete. So we get it up off the concrete, look down. I have a big 8-foot wide ritual circle spray painted on my garage floor. And I shit you not, the window to my garage is on the walk path between me and the other house. So you can't go to either house without just looking over and seeing this big red circle. I got a few questions over that because that people move in and out of these quite often. And yeah, I got our neighbors like, are you aware? Yeah, I'm aware. Good times, good times. But man, when we moved, see, I'm that good tenant, and there's times I don't like being the good tenant because being the good tenant, I knew I had to clean that up. And that took some doing. It took a little redneck ingenuity to figure it out, but after a couple days research and a couple days of hard elbow grease, we got her cleaned up looking great. Hey, Anthony, glad you can make it. No, it was the no part that was doubled. I do, Karma. I know a little bit. We really ain't got time to go into that. Perhaps remind me, and we will try to start next week's off with that. I am planning to attempt to get some videos done on it. But we may talk about that a bit next week. We're getting to the point they're going to start throwing clocks at me, and that's a big answer. I like where this is going. I can only find glow in the dark paint. I won't lie. Okay, so me and my friends, we have this little habit when, because I got one friend, they do actually tend to do remodels or flip houses and whatnot, and they will hide things in places, fake skeletons in like the corner cupboards when you seal it off, or stuff that's going to be found only during the next remodel, and it is freaking amazing. So yeah, I'm considering leaving some kind of weird occult ritual, something here of some kind tucked away in a corner someplace for the next people to find, just for shits and giggles. Because why not? Nothing legit, just a little prank thing. It entirely depends on the dragon itself. The energy patterns are drastically different, not only from element to element, from dragon to dragon. Even within the earth element, Terra Fauna is going to feel different than so many of the other earth dragons, like Expoonwell. Expoonwell and Terra Fauna is drastically different energy patterns. So it really depends on the dragon itself, which really this is something you see a lot with practically any entity, now that I think about it. They may have similarities, but they're going to be very unique in their presence and everything and personality. See, Drake, you are an inspiration for magic pranks. Thank you. We may actually have to have a discussion about magical pranks, because I'm not going to lie, we've done more than our fair share of them. Yeah. Amongst me and my friends, there is a point where most of us are not allowed in the same state anymore on April Fool's Day. They literally try to separate us. It gets so out of hand. But it's all in good fun. It really is. I see. I'm that neighbor. I'm a good neighbor. I mind my business. I let you mind your business. And you know what? If you got your stereo too loud occasionally, I don't mind it. I understand that. Life happens. But there are certain points, like 1 or 2 a.m. on a work night or something where things escalate to a point where it's, or it becomes habit, where it's habitual, like constantly. That's when I might raise my hand and say something. And I have found if you can throw a curveball and a bit of humor at it and leave them like, wait, what? It helps. It really helps. Like one of my neighbors, actually, you've probably heard the kid. That kid was just screaming 24/7. So, and it was during a live stream. And I actually saw his mom out in the parking lot a day or two after. And I mentioned it, and she's like, "Oh, I do apologize. We keep telling him to keep it down." I gave her the freaking YouTube link and told him. I was like, "Well, tell his ass he's on YouTube now. He's famous. Everyone knows how he acts." He behaved after that. It's amazing how well embarrassment can actually help. So, I'm not a big politically correct guy. Let's just be that way. I'll be honest with you. If me, Nitro, well, most of the others have passed on, but ended up in the same location on April Fool's Day, I think Katrina and Raven would have a heart attack. I really do. I really do. I think they would have a heart attack. Because there has been property damage from our jokes. We may or may not have accidentally once miscalculated and exploded a guy's brick barbecue pit smoker. I felt bad about that one. I was planning on making ribs the next day. Did not happen. Instead, I spent the next day rebuilding the barbecue pit smoker. Miscalculations happen. They happen. All right, everyone, we are definitely hit our hour. This has been great. A lot of good questions, good fun conversation. Y'all have been amazing. And again, Violet Star, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm still breathless. I really am. So mugs up to you. Special mugs up. And I will see you all next week for Magickal Coffee Hour. And yes, we will still be drinking plenty of coffee. Don't you worry about that. Yep. All right, everybody. Good night. Take care. Have a great week. Keep up your research and keep making that headway on your practice. I know sometimes it can get slow. Sometimes it can feel like you're not doing anything or making much progress, but keep that journal. Believe me, you will see the progress when you look back at that journal. It's always easier to see in hindsight than in the immediate. It really is, I promise. But keep doing that work. Keep doing the progress. Keep living the best life you can. And I'll see you next time. Good night.